Hello everybody, welcome back to Stan's Garage, bringing you everything you need to know for effective business IT management. In recent videos, we've talked a lot about ransomware. It's something that seems to be happening more and more frequently. And unfortunately, that fact doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. With the Russian military ramping up their attacks on Ukraine, the United States braces for another kind of invasion closer to home. It's a little something they like to call cyber warfare. So, ransomware used to be the type of attack that targeted larger entities, companies with lots of data and financial assets. However, in more recent times, targets seem to be more on the little guys. They don't have the same cyber defenses of the big boys. So this opens up the threat level of a ransomware attack to just about anyone. It has become incredibly profitable for hackers. Ransomware attacks, which account for over 22% of all 2021 cyber crimes, have doubled in each of the last 2 years. Small businesses are particularly vulnerable to the anticipated surge of ransomware attacks. Cybersecurity experts are asking them to take quick precautions to protect themselves. They have fewer resources and personnel to plan for, defend against, and recover from attacks, which in certain cases can be devastating to a small business. Small businesses have access to the same critical data and systems that cyber criminals are looking for. In addition to being more vulnerable, it opens them up to being the target more often. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the risk of ransomware attacks has only increased. The reason ransomware and other cyber attacks increase during conventional and cold warfare, it's kind of obvious when you think about it, but it's to gain leverage. Cyber criminals in Russia are leveraging ransomware as their go-to currency. So it's important to note that these attacks are not always simply for financial gain. Cyber crime weakens national security by crippling businesses and their supply chain. Who hasn't heard about problems with the supply chain lately, right? With the US and allies tightening the sanctions on Russia, we can expect a ramp up of those attacks. Hackers use ransomware to shut down computer networks and demand payment to restore access. Some target large corporations in search of large paydays, while others utilize a spray and pray strategy to ransom as many victims as they can get a hold of. These hackers make money based on the volume of infected systems instead of the size of any single system, right? It's an economy of scale, ladies and gentlemen. So it's estimated that over 1/2 of ransomware attacks last year happened to small businesses. And despite this fact, you'd be shocked to know that the vast majority of small business owners don't believe they will fall victim. As a small business owner, I know it's that the day-to-day operations that feel the most important. It's easy to dismiss these threats when you think, I'm too small, they're going after the larger companies. But this is exactly what cyber criminals want us to believe. It's become so common that small businesses don't consistently update their software or patch security flaws, right? Simple stuff, but it's also simple to ignore. I've seen it firsthand at client sites, just the other day in fact. I won't be surprised if I see it again tomorrow. So these companies use third-party software for their payroll and other systems, unaware of their vulnerabilities. Plus, they don't back up their files or always use multi-factor authentication. Using a two-factor authentication alone provides an added layer of security that can help in a big way. Users are going to get prompted for a code when they want to log into stuff, but that annoyance is minimal compared to the extra level of security you're buying yourself. The good news is it's not too late. Preventing ransomware attacks doesn't require a huge budget. It's little things you as a small business owner can implement that will make all the difference when it comes to cybersecurity. So here's a breakdown of a few things you can do right now. Back up your files. Back up your system on a regular basis so that if it becomes infected with ransomware, you can at least restore it. Backups should be kept on a separate device that is not accessible over a network. Ransomware assault occurs and data becomes encrypted, you will be able to restore systems post-breach if there is an offline backup. Also critical for small businesses to test those backups on a regular basis. Don't make the fatal mistake of waiting until a ransomware malware occurs, realize that your backups were inadequate or that they can't be restored. It doesn't help you to back up. The backups just don't work. Like I've mentioned before, use that multi-factor authentication. One of the simplest things you can do. And a Microsoft study showed that 99% of all cyber attacks could have been prevented by multi-factor authentication. 99%, y'all. That's a big number.
Oh, hell no!
You you do one thing today, turn on that multi-factor auth. Number 3, update and patch your software. Make sure your operating systems, software, and apps are running those latest versions. Handle your emails with care. So even if the sender looks like someone you know, exercise caution when clicking on links in emails. If you're unsure, please contact the sender directly or your IT department. You never know when malicious website addresses are frequently quite similar to the legitimate ones, with some minor spelling change, different domain, they use .net instead of .com or whatever it might be. Email attachments should be opened with caution, especially if they are compressed or like a zip file. You just never know what's in there. Try to always visit a website directly and do not trust links in emails or even text messages. There's plenty of SMS scams out there as well. Number 5, educate your employees. They can be your strongest asset, but you got to take the effort to tell them what to look for. Train and educate all of your staff on how to recognize phishing and social engineering. They'll be an extension of your security team instead of potential victims. And we are using automated tools to push out that training to them on a daily basis. Inquire for more details. Number 6, safeguard your passwords and credentials. Attackers frequently utilize compromised or stolen passwords, other credentials to access a network. So make sure you enforce proper password hygiene and routinely change your credentials for employees who have access to sensitive or valuable information. Same tools that do the security training and also do those dark web scans to make sure things haven't been compromised. I would also recommend using a password manager. We like Keeper. One works for us and our clients. You can check out a video I made on password managers just to get a little more information. We'll throw a link in the description for you. And overall, implementing these strategies can almost eliminate the risk of cyber attack entirely. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this. Can't get rid of cyber attacks altogether, but there are some steps you can take. It's a crazy time in the cyber world, and do your best to stay safe out there. If you're a small business and would like to discuss cybersecurity measures that are right for you, feel free to book a time to chat with me via the Calendly link below. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.